Have you ever heard of a man who built advanced machines long before the world was ready for them, yet was nearly erased from history? Elijah McCoy was a brilliant black inventor whose ideas were so effective that his name literally became a standard of quality. In this video, I'm going to tell the story of Elijah McCoy, how his inventions revolutionized technology and industry, why his genius went largely unrecognized during his lifetime, and how his work quietly shaped the modern world. This is the story of innovation ahead of its time, and a legacy almost forgotten. Before we jump in, if you enjoy uncovering lost history, untold genius, and the real stories behind world-changing inventions, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss future videos. The escape from slavery. Elijah McCoy was born on May 2, 1844, in Ontario, Canada, to parents who escaped slavery through the Underground Railroad. After gaining freedom, his family later moved to Michigan. From a young age, Elijah showed a strong interest in machines, often working with his father's tools. Recognizing his talent, his parents sent him to Scotland to study mechanical engineering, an extraordinary opportunity at the time. By age 20, he became a master mechanic and engineer. The railroad problem nobody could solve. When McCoy returned to America with his engineering degree, he faced a harsh reality. Despite his qualifications and expertise, no company would hire him as an engineer because of racial discrimination. The best job he could find was as a fireman and oilman for the Michigan Central Railroad. His duties included shoveling coal into the furnace and manually lubricating the train's moving parts. This seemed like a step backward for someone with his education, but McCoy turned this setback into an opportunity. As he worked on the trains day after day, he noticed a serious problem that was costing the railroad industry enormous amounts of time and money. Steam locomotives needed constant lubrication on their axles, bearings, and other moving parts to prevent overheating and breakdown. The invention that changed everything. In his small, home-based machine shop in Ypsilanti, McCoy worked on solving this problem. He designed a device he called the automatic lubricator, or oil drip cup. The invention was brilliantly simple yet revolutionary. It used the steam pressure from the engine itself to automatically pump oil to all the necessary parts, while the train was still moving. The lubricator had a small reservoir that held oil, and it released measured amounts through a system of tubes and valves directly to the bearings and moving parts. The beauty of McCoy's design was that it was self-regulating. It used the heat and pressure that already existed in the engine to power the lubrication system. In 1872, McCoy received his first patent for this invention, titled Improvement in Lubricators for Steam Engines. The impact was immediate and dramatic. Trains could now run for much longer distances without stopping. This meant faster travel times, lower maintenance costs, and increased safety for workers. By 1899, almost every railroad in North America was using McCoy's lubricator. The invention spread beyond trains to steamships, mining equipment, factory machinery, and more. Industries everywhere adopted his technology because it simply worked better than anything else available. Fighting against copycats and competition. The success of McCoy's invention brought a new challenge. Because the design was relatively simple and so effective, other companies started making knockoff versions. These imitations were cheaper, but they didn't work as well as the original. They would fail, leak, or damage the machinery. Railroad engineers and mechanics started asking specifically for McCoy's original design. They would request the real McCoy to make sure they were getting the authentic, reliable product and not an inferior copy. While the exact origin of the phrase, "the real McCoy," is debated by historians, many believe it came from engineers demanding McCoy's superior lubricator over the imitations. The phrase became part of American language, meaning something that is genuine, authentic, and of the highest quality. McCoy continued improving his invention throughout his life. He received over 50 additional patents, most related to lubrication systems. In 1916, he invented a graphite lubricator that could handle the extreme heat of superheated machinery, which opened up even more industrial applications. More than just an inventor, McCoy wasn't just focused on industrial machinery. He also invented practical devices for everyday life. He patented a folding ironing board that was easier to store and use. He created an improved lawn sprinkler system. He developed a self-regulating engine governor. Each invention showed his ability to identify problems and create elegant solutions. In 1873, McCoy married Mary Eleanor Delaney, and the couple moved to Detroit, where he found more opportunities. Mary was also remarkable in her own right. She helped found the Phyllis Wheatley Home for Aged Colored Men in 1898, showing the couple's commitment to their community. As McCoy's reputation grew, the Michigan Central Railroad promoted him from fireman to instructor. He taught other engineers how to properly install and use his patented technology. The personal cost of greatness. Despite his professional success, McCoy faced personal tragedy. In 1922, he and Mary were involved in a serious car accident. Mary died from complications the following year. McCoy himself suffered injuries and health problems that plagued him for the rest of his life. He developed hypertension and dementia. Elijah McCoy died on October 10, 1929, at the age of 85. At the time of his death, he held 57 U.S. patents. While he achieved success in his lifetime, his contributions were not widely celebrated or remembered in the decades following his death. It took many years for historians and educators to fully recognize the significance of his work. Why his story matters today. Today, McCoy's legacy is finally receiving the recognition it deserves. In 1975, the city of Detroit established Elijah McCoy Day on his birthday, May 2nd. They placed historical markers at his former home and workshop. In 2001, he was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in Alexandria, Virginia. In 2012, the United States Patent and Trademark Office opened its first regional office outside of Washington, D.C. They named it the Elijah J. McCoy Midwest Regional Patent Office in Detroit. His automatic lubrication principles are still used in modern machinery today. Every time you see a complex machine operating smoothly, there's a good chance it uses lubrication technology that traces back to McCoy's original ideas. From automobile engines to industrial robots, from manufacturing equipment to aerospace technology, the concept of automatic lubrication is everywhere. McCoy's story reminds us that innovation often comes from unexpected places. Here was a man who couldn't get hired for the job he was qualified to do, yet he revolutionized an entire industry from the position he was forced to accept. His genius couldn't be hidden by discrimination or limited by circumstances. Elijah McCoy proved that true innovation comes from seeing problems differently and having the determination to solve them. He took a menial task, lubricating train parts, and turned it into a breakthrough that transformed global industry. His inventions saved countless hours, prevented accidents, and made modern transportation and manufacturing possible. The next time you hear someone say the real McCoy, remember the brilliant black inventor whose name became synonymous with excellence and authenticity. Remember the man who built automatic machines before the world fully appreciated what he had created. And remember that genius can emerge anywhere, from anyone, if given the chance to shine.